Would have been nice to have finished the series. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We got ourselves into a decent position. But look, we've got to make sure we're up for it in Cape Town. There's nothing we can do about what's happened over these last few days. Short turnaround time. Guys have been sitting in the change room now. I'm sure they're desperate to get out into the cricket field. So I'm not expecting any, what I'm looking for, drawbacks. I'm expecting guys to really want to get out into Newlands Test match, because that is seen as one of the marquee events in South African sport. Is a Test match at Newlands over the New Year period is a big event for us. So I don't expect any sort of jet lag, I suppose, if you want to call that, or change room lag from what's happened over the last few days. I think just a good cricket wicket. I think as soon as you start toying or trying to doctor things, cricket's such a cruel game. It can come back and bite you. So I just think a good contest between bat and ball. I think if we get in a good cricket wicket and we play to our potential, we should be fine. As soon as you start doctoring things, it can always backfire against you. That's my opinion. Look, I think he's bowled a little bit before us in the Test match in Port Elizabeth. He joined us for a day. And we've got a lot of cricket in the subcontinent these next couple of months. So I think good to get guys like that closer to the side. He's been a good performer for the Warriors and for the South African A side. Just to get to know him a little bit more for the team, to get to understand what it's about, see his bowling, see his development, and then make a call as to whether we play him or not. That's something I need to discuss with the selectors, but obviously he's a guy that we'll be looking closely at for going to the subcontinent. There's no doubt about that. I think Newlands has generally offered the seam bowlers a little bit more nip than St George's Park. If you hit the movement from the wicket at St George's Park is generally a little bit slower. Newlands tends to have a little bit more pace in it, a little bit more greener grass than I suppose St George's does have. So I'm expecting it to be a little bit more bowler friendly than this particular wicket was. It leaves Dane Pitt with time to get himself back to where he needs to be, considering he's been out for 3 or 4 months. He's very much in the picture. He's played his first game yesterday for the Cobras. I know he bowled 47 overs, which is a great sign for us. And I mean, he's just taken 5 in his first Test match, so he's very much in the picture. But I think he needs to play some more cricket, particularly after severe shoulder injury like he's just undergone. So no, he's very much in the picture. Yeah, look, Quinny didn't give me enough notice that he was going to be keeping wicket. I think it happened like 3 minutes before we were supposed to keep wicket, so we got to blame Quinny for that. Look, we're fortunate that AB's he hasn't practiced his keeping for about 6 months now, and he's probably kept as well as he's ever kept. So we're very fortunate in that way. Look, particularly in the one-day setup, he's always found keeping a lot more tiring in the one-day setup than he does in Test match cricket. That's a big burden on him in one-day cricket, in my opinion, because of the keeping, the captaincy, being the so-called best batter in the world in one-day cricket. So there's a lot of responsibility on him for that. I'd prefer him not to keep in one-day cricket. There's no doubt about that. If he's got to keep in the odd Test match, so be it. I don't think it's a long-term solution or a long-term thing for us. It might just be for 1 or 2 tests when Quinton de Kock at the moment, who's the incumbent, is not fit. It's a tough one. I need to sit with the selectors. I think there's definitely times he's going to have to keep. There's no doubt about it. If we want to balance our side, it's a good thing for AB de Villiers to keep. We're very fortunate that Quinton de Kock's been outstanding with the bat. Whether he's keeping or not isn't that important because he's been so good at the bat. So there are definitely times where AB is going to maybe have to keep in some one-day games for us. When there is an opportunity for him not to keep, we're hoping to pursue that avenue as well. Whether that means I'm sure we will have another keeper in the one-day setup. How many games that guy plays, we will need to still evaluate, but there will be another keeper included in the one-day side now that Quinton de Kock's not there. I tell you what, it's a tough one because at the moment he seems to be playing really well. You look at him batting the nets, you're watching the bat in the middle, and he looks in a really good space. And I said at the start of the season, I really don't think a big score is too far away. And once again, this Test match got to 17 or 18, whatever it was, then got out playing a shot that he probably wouldn't play if he had to do it again. So I really feel that there's a big score around the corner. How long you go with him, I can't tell you. A big score might come next week, might come on Monday, and then you'll probably go with him a bit longer. He knows that if it doesn't score soon, he's under massive pressure. The The conundrum you sit with is that he's an experienced player. He's a hell of a slip fielder. He offers a lot to the team space at the moment as a senior player. We've just lost some iconic players in our side. We've lost a lot of experience. We've given 2 debutants test caps in the top 6. It's not just easy to throw away a guy who's got the potential to get big hundreds like he has. So I know everybody's jumping up and down saying, oh, Vero Peterson, time's up. I still think he's got a lot to offer this team.